Hey guys, Claude Johnson here from GuitarControl.com. So today we're talking about blues rock licks in the style of AC/DC. So let's take a look at the first couple licks from one of their most famous songs, which is Back in Black. So the solo starts out like this. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're basically playing licks out of the E pentatonic scale. So if you're not familiar with that, check out some of my other videos or my beginner lead guitar course at guitarcontrol.com/lead. Now, I love lead guitar ever since I was inspired by Jimi Hendrix. You know, it's one of the most fun things in the world. So it's really awesome to start, playing leads and solos. So the first thing you have to know is what key you're in. Now this song happens to be in the key of E. Why? Because the chords put us in the key of E. Okay, we're already there. Okay, so key of E. Now, let's break this little lead section down into 3 separate licks. So the first lick, and by the way, you can also say that the solo really starts out on the riff that he's doing, like. But we're gonna, for the purposes of teaching this, pretend that the solo starts with this bend here. So we're actually using 2 separate techniques here. We're bending the string, and we're also shaking it, which is known as vibrato, okay? So I want you to practice your vibrato. It's one of the most important things when you're learning lead guitar, okay? And I go over all this stuff, again, in my lead guitar course, guitarcontrol.com/lead. Now, there's a difference between bending up and bending down. Pulling it. It's a different sound, and it especially sounds very AC/DC-ish to choke the note down and then add the vibrato. So our first lick is just that one bend, which is on the 7th fret of the G string, okay? Now the next lick also ends on the vibrato on that kind of same note, on E. So see, on this first one, we're pulling the pitch up to an E and doing the vibrato. Here we're just on the E. Okay, so what I'm doing is 9th fret, 12th fret, 9th fret, and then that's all on the G string, and then down to the D string 9th fret, and back up to the G string. So 5 notes. Notice again, vibrato, shake it. It's all on the wrist, okay, on your last note. Then, third lick, we're up here on the, there's your pentatonic position. So I'm on the 12th fret of the G string, and then 14th fret, and I do like a bend, release, and pull off. So bend up, release back, and pull off. Again, that's another technique, the pull-off. You can learn about all this stuff in my lead guitar course for beginners at guitarcontrol.com/lead. Anyway, then you go down, and then finally end up on the 14th fret of the D string with some vibrato there. So you can start to see how useful it is to know all these patterns, because, the rock stars, the pro guitar players, don't always stay in one pattern. A lot of times they do, but here we're moving from this pattern, this position, up to this position, up to this position, and it's really helpful if you want, true freedom on the fretboard. You want to be able to play, down here, over here, slide up here. Anywhere you want. Really helps to know that stuff. I've given you the website several times for my beginner course. I also have some other courses. A really good one, a classic that I first started teaching guitar with. It's been a bestseller for almost a decade, is Killer Guitar Control Secrets. So you can check that out at guitarcontrol.com/secrets. So that's all I got, and we'll catch you next time.